So let us get on with the topic, smarten your solutions with artificial intelligence. So in this session, we'll be discussing about artificial intelligence and what role it plays in Zoho Creator and how it can make your life much easier. And you'll also be seeing how deluge can also be used through artificial intelligence. And let us get on with the topic. So first off, let us see how artificial intelligence works. Artificial intelligence needs a training model to get outputs on a regular basis. For that, you need a historical data. So with the historical data, you add an algorithm to it. So an algorithm is nothing but a formula or a set of rules to be applied on the data. And with the algorithm, you need to add the predictors, which are parameters that directly influence the results. So with all these three put together, you'll be developing a model, which is the AI system. With the AI system, once you start feeding in regular data, it will be able to predict the future events. So this is how a model is trained. And once the model is trained, you again feed data to it. Once again, this is another representation of it where you have the historical data. Once you are training the model with the historical data, you develop an AI model. And once the AI model is developed, you'll be able to feed the new data and you can get the AI results. So this is a very common site that we see in mobile or laptops or desktops as well, right? So this is a weather widget. So in the weather widget, we have a lot of details that are visible. So this screenshot has been taken in our head office, Pleasanton, where it is raining and it is 12 degrees Celsius on a Tuesday. And in this rectangle, the red rectangle, you see you have the maximum temperature, the minimum temperature, and the prediction of rainfall as well. So the prediction of rainfall is 90%, and then it is reducing to 80%, 60%, and it is predicting that there won't be any rainfall at 12 a.m. So how is that possible? So how is it predicting? And it is also saying that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the next coming days, it is predicting the weather, the maximum temperature, the minimum temperature as well. So how is it able to do that? So this happens where the AI predicts the weather in this context by analyzing patterns in the historical data that we provide, and then the prediction model learns to associate these patterns with the outcomes. So the more the data that we provide, the better the AI system works. When we use this power of artificial intelligence to detect learned patterns in new data, we use them to predict the future outcomes. That is how we are able to predict the future outcomes, like of the weather for the next couple of days, or if you can predict what is the weather in the next couple of hours. So all this is possible by this prediction model, right? So coming back to creator, we have something called as Zia, which is our artificial intelligence. So you would be knowing Zia, which helps us in our day-to-day activities. So we have something called as Zia imports in creator, wherein whenever you import data inside creator, Zia helps you to import the data. So it can be in a form, it can be in an application. So whenever that happens, it cleanses the data that you are putting inside creator. So you have multiple options while importing the data. So let us see what are they. So you can auto detect names, phone numbers, addresses. You can split names across first and last name fields. You can split and parse addresses as well. And you can normalize phone numbers, populate country codes, and you can fix inconsistencies, missing data. You can also find and replace it. You can also migrate functions along with the data, and you can data analyze, you can do data analysis and smart suggestions as well. So now let us go into a small demo, try to import some data inside Creator. So this is the Creator page. So we have create solutions in the top right. So let me click on create solutions. Then let me go to applications. So as usual, when I go to applications, I have three options. One is to create from scratch, another one to create from gallery, and the third one to import from file. So I import from file. So we have multiple formats that are supporting this local storage, URL, or cloud service. So those formats are .xls, .xlsx, XLSM, CSV, TSV, ODS, MDB, ACC, DB, and .ds, which is our deluge extension, and .json and .numbers. So let us get into local storage, and let me select employees data for demo. Let me select this folder. So as soon as I select this folder, it is showing me a lot of smart suggestions. So this is the Zia that is working in the backend, where it is giving us the smart suggestions and options where we would be able to edit it. So you can also refine the data through refine data option. But before that, you can get a look into these smart suggestions and what suggestions Zia is giving. And then you will be able to use the customization option. Let us get inside the first name. So it is asking us to standardize the name column because it has multiple first name, last names. So if we standardize the columns, if I proceed, it is able to split neatly with first name and last name basis. So once again, let me go back again to smart suggestions. I have the phone number. I can standardize the phone number over here. So there are multiple ways by which the phone number has been entered. So some of the numbers has a code, some are in brackets, and few do not have any brackets or any slashes at all. So they are all haphazard, right? So there is no format being followed. So consider an option where you have hundreds and hundreds of data, and you can't go through all the data to edit the formats, right? So for that, you can use this standardized phone number, where you'll be able to standardize the phone number. So with the city column, there are inconsistencies. Let us see what they are. So it has just picked up SAN, and which looks the same, and they have the same starting spelling. So it is just asking us if it can replace it. So I do not want to replace it for now. So I'm just canceling it. We close it again. Go to smart suggestions. Inside state again, it is asking me one more inconsistency is there. So over here it has different spellings, right? It has CA, it has California, again CA, again California. So I think CA would be a better way to look at the data. So I can replace it with CA, and it shows me that there are the four cells have been replaced by this edit option, right? So let me go to smart suggestions again. In the country as well, there are some inconsistencies. So what are they? So over here again, United States of America has been mentioned in a lot of formats, like it's United States, USA, or with some other spelling. So let us just try to get a commonality here, where let us just use USA. Let me do the same thing here. So once this is done, the whole column of the country has been uh, normalized, and you'll be able to see the difference over here, right? And if I go to refine data, I have lots of options to refine the data from here. So I can fix inconsistent spellings, I can fix duplicate rows, I can fix missing values if there are any. So let me just close it, and so let me just take this zip code away, and let me take this one as well away. So let us see how we can refine the missing data now. So fix missing values. It is asking me to select the column. So let me select the column that has the missing value, which is the zip code. There are two missing values, so it gets out the two missing values, and I have multiple options to select from. So I have fill with the value in the previous cell, I can fill with the value that I can enter, or I can fill with the average value, I can fill with the most occurring value. For example, if it is the state, and if there is something missing and all the states are the same California, I can just fill the most occurring value, right? So that would be more easier, and I can also remove the rows with missing values as well. So if I do not want the rows, I can just remove the row with the missing value. So I'll just fill the values in the previous cell for now. Let me just apply. So it again shows me how many cells have been edited over here. So I can split columns. For example, if the first name and last name are in the same column, and if I want to split it into two, or if I want to merge the two first name and last name column into just a name, I can do that as well with split column and merge columns. I can explore and edit the data as well by using explore and edit. So this is something which would be useful when I have lots and lots of data available and I want to filter them. I can use this explore and edit, where I'll be able to explore the data, find out the data, and then edit the data as well. And over here you have standardize date and time, where you'll be able to standardize the date and time. Where if you have dates which are of multiple formats and you want to make it into a common format, you'll be able to do that as well by using standardized date and time. With standardized phone number, again, you'll be able to do that. So let us just see how we can do that with phone number. So as soon as I click on that, it is asking me, can I add a country's calling code to all the phone numbers, or should it be just few numbers? So, or it is asking me, can I add the calling code of the country present in a column? So if that is the case, I'll have to select the country, and it will ask me the phone number will be prepended with the international calling code of the country present in the column we select. So I do not want that for now. So over here, let me select United States, and let me apply. So there are 16 cells that have been edited over here. And if you see, there are codes that are the codes that have been attached after the number depending upon the address. So this is how standardized phone number works, and it would be very easy for us to use the standardized phone number and standardize the whole column itself. So you need not just select few numbers, you can just standardize the whole column by using standardized phone numbers. And over here with design, you'll be able to see relations and add relations as well. So this is the relation option, where if you have multiple sheets, over here I just have single sheet, but if I have multiple sheets, I'll be able to see the relations between one sheet and other, and I'll be able to look at the relations and change the data if I want. Let me go back again to data. Over here, I have option to find and replace. I can find any data over here. Let me just find Nika. I can replace with some other name. I can search with different columns. I can just search with first name, and it has already found the name and the person. And what is the direction? Should it be up or down? And match the entire cell. So these are all the options that are available in find and replace. And if you want not to have any column in the sheet, so you have just imported the sheet, and for example, you do not want the phone number at all, right? So you can just click on it, and you won't be importing the phone number data inside creator. And you also have a filter option, which would be very useful if you have lots of data. And you can also edit the name of the sheet as well. If I go over here, I can just select the name, can be employee data, and I can create it. Now the application is created. I can just access the application, and all the data that we had changed is visible over here, right? And as soon as I've entered everything or imported everything, there is an employee data form that is also created. So how does this happen? So this happens while I enter the import the data. All the column names have been entered into as a field over here, where the first name, last name, the phone number, the street, the city, the state as well. So if it is not this California, it is asking me to select others as well. So it is so user friendly. And if you want to edit above it, you'll be able to edit. Once you click on edit this application towards my top right. So let us try to import some more data. We create a new solution, import from file, local storage. So over here we have a data of this of a sales company. So you have the company name and the store, how many units are sold, who is the salesperson, so what is the region, and it is also showing me the lookup as well. So let me go to design over here. So the category has been looked up from the item category in the sales data, right? So it is showing me how it is getting connected from category to the item category as well. So this is the relation that I was talking to you about. So I can just change the relation if I want to, or I can just keep the relation as such, where it says that sales data dot item category is a lookup in items dot category. It is also referred to over here, right? So over here, let me again use the smart suggestions. It says that it contains a duplicate rows. So let me just click on it. And now because it has a lot of data, it is showing me that there are multiple duplicate rows, and it is showing me all the preview of the duplicate rows as well. And over here it has duplicate rows exact match, which will match exactly, and there are two counts which match exactly. Similar means nothing but it looks similar with different cases or special characters in between. And with fuzzy, it's nothing but it looks the same, but there might be a lot of differences. So depending upon your need and requirement, you can just click on the options, and you can edit the sheet as well. So for now, let me just clear out the exact matches, remove duplicates. So I've just removed one row now. Now let me go to smart suggestions. So there are 15 inconsistencies in the items sold. So again, if you see laptops, laptop, and the Windows laptop, all these are just laptops. Let me just have it in caps and replace it. So laptops have been replaced as a common field as laptop. So now let us again go back to the smart suggestions. There are eight more inconsistencies in the color of item. There are a lot of spelling mistakes inside that. Let it just be crimson. So let me replace it again. So let me go back again to smart suggestions. It is asking me there are a lot of missing values. So let us fill the missing value with Europe. And let me just apply it now. Let me go to smart suggestions again. In regions, we have three inconsistencies. Let us see what are the three inconsistencies. We have Europe and Asia. So let us just be Europe and let me replace it. The salesperson has a lot of inconsistencies again. So let me just replace them where it replaces the name. And let me go to the company where it has my works and the spelling errors here. Let me replace it. Let me just remove the missing value. And one row has been removed. And inside store, I have three missing values. I'll just fill the value with the previous cell for now. Once again, let me go to smart suggestions, inconsistencies, replace. And now I've replaced and refined the data fully. I have a lot of columns over here. And if I just import this, and if I create it, before that, I'll also show you the salesperson and the items sheet as well. So these are separate sheets. So you have multiple sheets. All these sheets would be visible over here. So you can edit these separately with smart suggestions, or you can just edit the master sheet alone as well. Now let me create. Okay, let me just change the sales name as something else. Let me give out another name. Hopefully this isn't taken. Let me name it as ZHA sales and create. There are a lot of names that have been taken. I think there is an issue while creating the data. Oh, I need to change the main name of the main data. So let me just go ahead and change it. So I was just changing the sheet name before. Now the application has been created successfully. So now let us access the application. Now here it has created three reports and it is three forms. The lookups has been mapped directly, right? So these are the reports, and you have the form over here, which has all the details that can be entered, which has mapped directly to the column names that are available in the input sheet. And with salesperson's report again, all the salesperson names have been mapped, and the salesperson's form has also been mapped directly. Let us just give it a second. Yes. So if I go to the sheet, it is showing me all the items that I can store, and like it is showing all the color items. It has mapped directly into as a drop down, and the item category is mapped into different items. If I want, I can edit the item category, right? And it will also have the lookup that has been mapped over here as well inside creator. So this is how Zia import works inside creator. It enables us to cleanse the data, and it enables us to also do that in a very user friendly way. So now let us get on with the AI fields, where you have multiple AI fields which will help us to do a lot of tasks with automations, where we have AI fields in the form builder called as Zia fields, and we have five options that are available. So let us see how it separates itself from a normal field. So a normal field just collects the input data. So you input the data, it collects the input data. With the AI fields, it extracts the context from the data that you have entered. So that is the main difference between the normal fields and the AI fields. First off, let us get on with the prediction field. The prediction field makes predictions based on the pattern of evidence, and it also helps with the decision making process. With, for example, you have project management, auto industry, and sales. So in these industries, you'll be able to predict the due date of a task. For example, in the auto industry, you'll be able to predict the lifetime of spare parts. Or in the sales industry, you'll be able to predict the likelihood of a deal being closed. But all this can be done when there is large amount of data that is been feeded into creator, where it would help us in getting the right prediction out. So with sentiment analysis, it determines if the sentiment that has been entered is negative, positive, or neutral. For example, let us say there are hundreds and hundreds of feedbacks for an event, or for any business that has been happening, and you want to uh, analyze the sentiment. So you can do that by analyzing the feedback field with the sentiment analysis, where it would give out a result if it is a negative, positive, or neutral. For another example, you can think of is support. Analyze the service trends with the survey responses. You can analyze how the event has gone, and you can have it with you can get the quantitative and the qualitative feedback. And with web scraping, you'll be able to check what people are talking about on forums as well. And with keyword extraction, again, from a paragraph that a user is entering, you would be able to extract the keywords from the field. So, for example, in customer support, you can analyze the service trends. In web scraping, you can check what people are talking about on different forums. With OCR field, you can extract text from an image or a PDF file. So that can be done, for example, in instances like form transcription, where you can automate the data entry process. Where, for example, if a visitor is visiting and you want to scan the badges at an event, that can also be done with OCR field. And with business cards, you can make a searchable database of business cards. With object detection, you can identify objects in an image. So in manufacturing, you can automate a data entry. With field services, you can determine parts. And with auditing, you can also scan badges at an event as well. So now let us go into a small demo. And before that, let us just see how many objects that creator can find out in the object detection. So currently we have 90 objects that creator can detect, and these are some of the objects. So we have listed some. So we have bike, cars, motorcycles, bus, train, traffic lights, fire hydrants. It can detect a bird, cat, horse, a sheep, a lot of animals, umbrella, handbag, tie, a suitcase, snowboards, and a baseball bat, skateboards, tennis rackets. So for now, it detects objects from our library. In the future, you can build your own object models as well. So now let us get on with the demo. So let me go back again. So I'll try to do this demo inside the AI, inside the Zilker Home Appliances itself. Let me create before that. Let me go and say Zilker Home Appliances. That let me just edit this application. Let me create a new form, and it can be from scratch. And let me name it as AI form. Now let me create the form. So as soon as I create from towards my left, I have basic fields, advanced fields, special fields, and AI fields. So AI fields can also be called as ZIA fields. And we have keyword extraction, we have sentiment analysis, we have OCR, predictions, and object detection as well. Right. So let us get on first with the keyword extraction. So for that, you need the single line or a multi-line field. So let me just go ahead with the multi-line field so that it would be easier. So for keyword extraction, let me just name it as feedback for demo purposes. And here, let me use the keyword extraction over here. So let me just drag and drop. So now in the drop down, it is asking me the source field. So from which field should I map the keyword extraction to? So over here, we just have the feedback field. So we can just select the feedback field. So if you have multiple fields, it will you can just select from the drop down. I can add. So as soon as I add the keyword extraction, I have a lot of field properties associated with it. So it can be visible to everyone or can be visible just to the admin. And the field size can be medium or large or small. For now, I just want it to be medium. The height can change. You can also have a description as well with a tooltip as well as a help text. So you can use a tooltip with a description saying keyword extraction. Let me click as done. Let me access this application. Before that, let me just open a new link over here so that it would be easy. So let me just give a feedback as I am Sai Kumar, which is my name, and I work with creator. And it picks up the main keywords, that is my name and where do I work, what do I work with? I work with creator. So like that, it picks up the keywords from the field that you are mapping it to, and you will be able to use it accordingly. Now let me go back again and open the form builder. Now let us try to use, let me delete this now. And now let me try to use the sentiment analysis, where I'll give out sentiments. Let me add the field. So let us say I have used a product and I am giving the feedback for the product. So, or let us service. So let us say service, or happy with the service. So as soon as I click outside, oh, I have to reload it again. I'm sorry. Happy with the service. So it is now picking up and it is telling me that it is a positive sentiment that a user has conveyed. Right. So now let me give out something negative. Let us say greatly disappointed with the service. So now it picks it up and it says that it is a negative sentiment that a user has shared. Now let me give out something which would be more encouraging, like service can be better. Let us see what sentiment it shows. So now it is showing a neutral sentiment. It is neither bad or really good. So it is showing me a neutral sentiment when I give a feedback with service can be better. So like this, you can use this sentiment Zia field to get the output when you are getting a lot of feedbacks. Let me just clear the sentiment now. And the next one which we would be trying is the OCR, right? So which is the object recognition. So with object recognition, you will be object character recognition, where you would be needing an image field, right? So you can't do it with the feedback. So I'm just attaching an image. And towards my right, I have all the options that are available for an image. I can do it with the local computer. I can do it with a link, or I can use the camera to take a snap as well. So if I am using a phone, I can just use it with the camera, enable the photo gallery. So all these field properties are attached with an image is visible over here. So let me select the OCR. I want to select the image. Yes. Let me click as done. So now let me reload it. Let me select an image from the computer, where let me go to pictures, and I have a business card over here. So this is the business card that I am going to load, which has a name and the designation and the company name and the address and also the phone number as well. So let us see how it picks up everything. So as soon as I load the image, it is picking up the address, the name, and what is its designation, and all the detail and the phone number as well. So in this case, you will be able to use this when you have multiple business cards and you want to enter it into a database. That can be done within a very short period of time by just using the image and OCR field. Let us go to the form builder again. Now let me use the object detection. So now I have to select the image, add field, done. Let me go back and reload it. So now if I load the image, the object detection should give me the exact match, or it should give me suggestions, where in the suggestions the answer should be there. So this is an image of a train. Let me just open it, and it immediately picks up that it is a train. The image that we have loaded is a train, right? So if I upload an image of a bird, it would pick up the bird, or it would also give me few suggestions. Now it is picking up it as a bird, right? So like this you'll be able to use the object detection. And you can also use the predictor field when you have multiple datas available, and when you want to load the data on a regular basis, and if you have a lot of historical data, you'll be able to use the prediction field. So we have already used the prediction field in our BU sessions. So you'll be able to see that in the microservices. So we have a weather custom model AI inside microservices, where we had built a weather prediction process as well. So if I want, I can again retrain it. So once I enter the data, it gives out a prediction saying that it will it rain or not. So what is the prediction dependent on? It is dependent on the minimum temperature and the maximum temperature. And what is the trained data count? We have more than 360 data counts that are available. So with that, it predicts the weather. So now let me go back to the presentation. So now let us get into the interesting part of AI in Deluge, where we'll be able to see how you can parse phone numbers, parse addresses, where you can predict languages. You can also find named entities. You can analyze the sentiment inside Deluge as well. And you also can use the optical character recognition inside Deluge as well. So let me go and give you a small demo and try to use some features inside Deluge. That's done. For that, we need to go inside the functions. Functions, a new function. Let us just select the name as parse phone number, because we'll start with that. And the language would be deluge, and the namespace would be a task, and let it just be void. And let me create the function here. Yeah, so the function already exists. So let me do that too. We create the function. So when I am able to do this, let me just open this page over here, and I'll just share the URL. So these are all the AI tasks that are available in Creator with the Deluge, and you'll be able to see how all these can be done through Deluge with all the documents. So you have all the help documents over here, separating it, and you'll be able to see the description, the syntax, and the example as well. And you can also have the response format, which is the JSON format, So once you get a response or an output, you can just copy the output and put it inside the JSON formatter, and you'll be able to view the output in a more refined way, right? So let me just share this with you all. So now let us get on with the parse phone number. So let me go with the response. RESPONSE is equal to Zoho.ai.parse number, which would be there in the list. Yes, parse phone number, and it asks me what number I have to use. You go back again over here, you will be able to see the format over here as well. So it is really easy where you'll be able to pass the phone number. Wait, let me just go back again to this page. Let me click on pass phone number. And over here, you have something called as the Alpha 2 format, where if you click over here, you'll be able to see the country code list here, where you have all the country codes. You can just copy and paste it. And for your reference, it is there under the artificial intelligence document that I had shared. So now let me look at the US. Let me just go back here and copy this from the example. And let me give out a number. Please give me a second. So let me give out a number as 9259 783 6. So now let me close it and let me info response. Let me save it. Let him close it over here. Let me close it again, save it, execute it. And now I need to copy this, right? So I need to copy it once it is executed. And if I place it inside the JSON formatter, I'll be able to see all the details of the carrier and the phone number as well. So over here I have the time zone and the national number, the type, who's the carrier, the country code, and all the other details pertaining to the number. Like this, you'll be able to pass the phone number. And if you want to info anything, you can also info the get response as well, wherein you will be able to, let me just copy the, let us say I want the location, right? So let me just copy location. We go over here, we close it, response dot get. Let me save it. If I execute it, I'll get the exact location of the phone number over here. So like this, you will be able to use the parse phone number to get the phone number and the details of the phone number, the detailed details of the phone number. Now let us try using the parse address. So once again, you have the document over here. If you need to access this later, like parse address, so it also has the description, syntax, the example as well. So let me go back again here. Close this for now. We have AI dot parse address. So it is asking me the address. So I've just copied an address over here. Let me copy and paste it. Copied it. And now I'm pasting it. And let me now info the response. So once I info the response, I save it and I try to execute it. Now let me copy it and paste it in the JSON formatter. Let me clear it out, paste it again. So it gives me a detailed and neat output of the city, the road, the state district, the postcode, the building address, the name as well. So it is listed as a list inside the data, and inside the items I have the road, city, state, district, and the postcode. So now if I want to call, for example, the state district, so how would I be able to do that? Let me just copy this, go to creator, close it. Let me just info response dot get. We get the data. Now let me dot get items dot get JSON. Over here, let me just paste what I had copied, which is the state district. So why I have called in the data and items is because inside the data, there is the items list. Inside the items, there is a road, city, state, and the postcode. Now I'm calling the district. Let me save it. Let me execute it. And it gives me the district, the name of the district, which is the Kanchipuram district, right? So now let me close this. And if I want something else, I can also just copy and paste the state as well if I want. Control V, save it, execute it, and it gives out the result as Tamil Nadu, which is the state of this address I have given, right? So now let us try to analyze sentiments. So for that, response.ai. Once again, let me just use the same code dot translate. I'm sorry, let me just use. We were talking about seeing the sentiment, right? So let me use sentiment. Analyze sentiment. So let us enter a text like the food was great. Let me just close it. Let me execute it. I didn't response it. Info response. So it gives out a positive value saying that the result is positive. So for better viewing, let me go to JSON, paste it here. So it gives out a positive value as 80%. So like that, you'll be able to map the analyzing the sentiment as well. So let me select another line saying greatly disappointed with the service. Now let me save it and execute it. And now it gives me a negative feedback saying that the sentiment that I have shared is a negative sentiment. Right? So here I can see that there is a negative sentiment that I have shared. Right? So now let us go and try to use the translate feature where I will be entering a sentence and I would be translating it to different languages. Right? So let me go up again. So for easy usage, you can just save it as different functions and you can store it in the namespace, for example, like AI fields. And inside AI fields, you can access this function whenever needed inside a workflow. For demo purposes, I'm just showing how all this can be done. So we have response.ai.translate. So let me just enter. I will collect the package tomorrow, and I want this in Spanish, right? Which is yes. So these are the codes of the languages. So where do we see that? You can go back again to the same document, and you can go and click on translate. And inside translate, you will see all the list of languages that can be translated to and from, and you have the codes as well, right? The language codes that can be used from here. So let me go back again. Let me go semicolon, info the response. Let me save it and execute it. Let me again paste it in the JSON formatter. And now this is the source language, and this is in Spanish, right? So like this, you'll be able to translate it from English to other languages, or you can also translate from other languages like Spanish or German or Portuguese to French or Arabic or Czech or Hungarian as well. So let us see how we can do that. So I have saved a sentence in French, right? So let me just copy this. See, let me just paste it over here. So this sentence is in French, right? And I want to change this into English, right? So for that, what I've done is I have used this English and French, which I've listed over here. And always the language you want to convert it to comes first, and the source language comes the second, right? So this is the source language, which is French, and I have entered it last. And before that, I have entered the language that I want it to be converted to, right? So let me just save it, let me execute it, copy it here, the JSON formatter, Control V, process. And now the source language again, which is French, has been translated into English, which is I'm happy to use creator. We go back again, close it. Now let me try to use a recognize text from image. So I have a URL which I have saved. So let me just delete it. Let me go and get that URL and let me show the image. We just paste it, enter image. And this is the image that I want to extract the text from. So throw me to the wolves and I'll return leading the pack. So this is just a motivation quote taken from the internet. So let me just come over here and type void OCR deluge. IMG URL and let me paste the URL over here is equal to pasted the URL here. So now let me call the image. So image is equal to invoke URL. So the URL is the image. Let me select IMG URL and the type is get. I don't want the parameters, headers, and the connection. I'm taking it off, backspace, putting a semicolon over here. Now to extract the text from the image file, I need to give it a response, right? So response is equal to Zoho dot AI dot recognize text. And I am giving the image, right? Which is the image URL. Let me just info the response. Now, let me try to save it. So it says that the user defined function already exists, which is the OCR deluge, which already exists. Now let me save it. So once I info the response, I'd be able to get the output as the text from here, which is throw me to the holes and I'll return leading to the path, right? So I'll be able to get the text as an output. So I save the URL over here. Let me just copy it. Let me save it. And that is how it can be done. And let me go back to the presentation now. So we have seen the deluge AI features. We have seen how we can see the Zia features as well, Zia import capabilities, and we also saw the AI fields as well. So with this, we come to the end of our session on AI in Deluge. So if you have any questions, you can post it in the questions tab, and I'll be putting myself on mute for the next few minutes, stopping the screen share. Yeah, so let me just go back again to Creator. Let me go to Solutions. So under Solutions, I have, let me just go and select ZHABU. So this is the business user uh, application that we had developed. And over here, we have the
I,
weather forecast, right? So all
your
weather.
screen is not visible.
I'm sorry, is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me get back to the creator. So I went to ZHABU, which is the application that we have developed in the business user. And over there, I had just inputted all the data inside the creator application that we had developed, right? So I have multiple amounts of data that I have entered. And once I had imported all the data inside, what I did was I created a form called weather. Inside the weather form, it because I imported all the data, it created the minimum temperature, maximum temperature, rainfall, evaporation, everything. But the rain prediction was created by me. So I went to edit this application. In edit this application, I open the form builder, and over here I use the prediction field, right? I use the prediction field and I named it as a rain prediction, and I trained the model with the data that I had provided. So after I used the prediction, rainfall prediction, it gave me an accuracy of 89.59, which is the model that I had built. So once this is done, let me create this done, finish it as done. Let me try to use this. I can just enter the minimum temperature as 8, the maximum temperature as 19, and it gives out the rainfall prediction for tomorrow, right? So it predicts the rainfall. There won't be any rainfall tomorrow with the data that we have given. And let me select as 22. Now it is predicting that there will be rainfall tomorrow. So with all the data that I had provided it, it is predicting the rainfall with the minimum and maximum temperature, right? So this is how the prediction field works. You can just drag and drop, and if you want to enter more data, again, let me go back again and explain this as well. And let us say, for now, I have entered about 350 lines of data, and I have more data coming in next month, and I want to enter more 300 more lines of data. I can import the data, and I can retrain the model as well. So that is the option over here where I can click and retrain the model. So once I retrain the model, it gets accustomed to the data that I have provided, and it predicts it in the with the data that I am giving it, right? I hope this answers your question. So if you have some more questions, please do post it in our questions tab. I'll just stop my sharing for now. So I hope there are no questions regarding the artificial intelligence in Creator. If there are any, please do post it in our questions tab. Thank you.